Welcome to the deep dive. We've got a really wide-ranging set of sources from you this time.
Definitely. Everything from Kadir Kubitschek's book Thoughts to articles on logic, myths, tech, even crop circles and human origins.
It's quite the mix. So our goal here is to kind of sift through it all, find those interesting connections, maybe some surprising insights for you.
And give you a shortcut to understanding these complex ideas, hopefully spark some new thinking.
Right. So where should we start? Maybe with Kubitschek.
Yeah, Thoughts sets a strong tone, the idea that every thought begins with a dissent. It pushes you to question things, get uncomfortable.
It frames philosophy as fundamentally about challenging convictions, doesn't it?
It does, but then you have this other article, The Method of Doing Philosophy.
Ah, right. That one felt very different.
Totally. It argues philosophy needs structure logic, careful analysis, getting the language right, not just, having opinions.
So this tension right at the start, is philosophy about radical questioning, like Kubitschek says, or is it more about building solid arguments methodically?
Exactly. And that leads nicely into the discussion on logic itself. There was that piece analyzing Socrates.
The I know nothing statement.
Using classical logic, specifically the square of opposition, the article basically shows it's a contradiction.
Interesting. So less focus on the irony, maybe, and more on the formal structure.
Yeah, which highlights a shift in philosophy. And it ties into that other concern in illogical philosophy.
The worry that logic is maybe being devalued, replaced by gut feelings.
Sort of. That intuition and speculation might be crowding out rigorous thinking, leading to confusion, maybe even helping misinformation spread. It makes you think about how we evaluate arguments today.
Okay, so from logic's limits, we then jump to ancient myths, but with a twist. The Prometheus piece.
Oh yeah, Prometheus, the divine conspiracy. That was fascinating. It flips the script.
Flips the script how?
Instead of Prometheus being the hero who defied Zeus for humanity's sake.
Which is the story everyone knows.
Right. This suggests he might have been an agent of Zeus. His gift of fire wasn't liberation, but actually a trick leading to deeper enslavement.
Wow. Okay, so a gift that's actually a trap. That's a powerful rereading. It makes you question those old narratives.
Definitely challenges how we look at power in myths. And that theme of a gift with hidden downsides echoes in the technology discussion.
The comparison between the industrial and digital revolutions.
Exactly. The article argued the Industrial Revolution changed our bodies, our physical work, but the digital revolution, it's aiming for our minds.
Our cognitive abilities.
Yeah. Raising fears about AI, automation, maybe even making humans obsolete. It questions our identity in a tech-driven world.
Heavy stuff. And speaking of questioning things, the Ark of the Covenant article.
Now that was unconventional, moving away from pure symbolism.
Because the Ark was a literal device, right? Like some kind of electrical capacitor.
Or a frequency-based energy seal, maybe even a consciousness detector, a sort of frequency contract with the divine. It's a technological interpretation of a sacred object.
Wild. It makes you think about how we interpret ancient accounts. And then there were the crop circles.
Ah, the signals from beneath the earth idea.
Skifting, they're not random, but coded messages.
From a subterranean species, potentially, to ET allies, referencing binary code, and interestingly, that false gifts idea again, maybe linking to tech companies.
It's definitely out there, but it provokes thought about unexplained phenomena. Then we had the utopian vision.
Right, utopia.
Right.
Where philosophy and art rule and machines handle science and production. Humans freed for creativity.
A very different picture of the future.
Yeah.
Contrasted sharply with the alienation, captivity, origin article.
Yeah, that one was unsettling. Bringing together ideas like Earth being a kind of prison, humans being biologically unsuited to it, maybe even genetically engineered by aliens.
It really pushes back on standard human origin stories.
Massively. Then, shifting gears again, the piece on aesthetic judgment.
Aesthetic judgment under the shadow of prejudice. About how knowing who made something affects how we judge it.
Precisely. People rated creative work differently if they thought it was by AI versus a human, revealing our inherent biases.
Even when we think we're being objective about art or creativity.
And just to ground some of this, we also had Aristotle's four causes mentioned.
Material, formal, efficient, final. A framework for understanding. Well, anything, really.
Why
What something is.
a foundational tool for analysis. And finally, that brief mention of cosmology.
Tying the Big Bang back to Genesis. Let there be light.
Suggesting modern cosmology might unconsciously echo ancient theology, with light as the, quote, first illusion, a metaphysical angle on physics.
So pulling all this together, it's an incredibly diverse landscape of thought you've given us.
Absolutely, from deep philosophical questions to really unconventional theories about artifacts and aliens.
And the connections are surprising, like the false gift idea appearing in myth and potentially tech bunkers or ancient artifacts viewed as technology.
It definitely challenges conventional thinking across the board.
Which leads to the final thought for you, the listener. Given this huge range of ideas about knowledge, reality, our future, even our origins, what underlying assumptions do you hold?
And perhaps more importantly, what happens if you start questioning them? What new universes of thought might open up?